Dixon, the son of George Richard Dixon, who served in the No. 2 Construction Battalion.
Back in the beginning of the war, people of color were not allowed to enlist due to their race. However, the Canadian government only allowed people of color to work what was called the Construction Battalion. Now, they were refused enlistment into the army by the Canadian government, but they still needed these men to do back-breaking labor, including tree cutting, building roads, laying railway, and moving urgent supplies to the front lines.
My name is Lisa Dixon, and I am daughter to Blair.
My name is Lance Dixon.
My name is Bo Dixon. I'm the youngest son of Blair Dixon. I'm a theater practitioner, artist.
Owner and operator of a coffee house, bakery, and catering business.
I serve as racial justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion consultant for education district here.
When did you know about your father's actual role? And how did you find out?
Well, I didn't really know what they were doing. Then I came into that as the years went by. Interesting that there was no real naming of it. I didn't know that it was No. 2 Construction Battalion, but I knew that he was in France.
In 1917, 600 black soldiers set sail for England and France. Unfortunately, the only records of what happened to these men was documented in Reverend White's diary, which showcases shocking stories of racism at every page.
We had less privilege in terms of option of life opportunity, and that's the way it was.
My father and our grandfather represent 130 years together of a story of our nation's modern history of racism. Our grandfather was part of the first and only black battalion that served our country. And they were an exclusive black battalion because they were discriminated against by the white military officers and the soldiers who refused to serve alongside of them. But so determined were they to serve their own communities and families with the same dignity and honor that they organized themselves for service despite all that discrimination. My father, before you, is the first black Canadian ordained in the Episcopal Anglican Church. That doesn't come without a cause, because when my father talks about opportunity, he was first denied that very opportunity to live his vocational calling from a bishop who said, there's no place I'm going to put a man of color in my diocese. So my father's journey, like his father's journey, is one of seeking opportunity. And what that afforded us as his children are the opportunities that we have all been able, privileged to live out. We had choices, real choices, because our father chose a path of accepting life as it was and not fighting against it, but seeing the opportunities within the narrow path that he was given. So we really stand here today, all three of us, as beneficiaries of our father, and those also chose to, as we say, find lemonade in the lemons.
Having someone like my father, being raised by him, I mean, that's something, it's, I could write a book about that experience and how grateful, blessed I am.
We have been raised by a wonderful couple, my dad and our mom, who gave us privilege right from the get-go. The privilege to make our own decisions and our own choices.
I think the word that really encompasses or kind of embodies what Dad offered us is hope. And that's what we need, those who live on the margins of society, who experience discrimination.
My childhood was, in one respect, certainly could not be considered as a comfortable, but it was certainly has to be called rocky. Much more important was the smooth comfort and care. Bo wrote a song, love will carry you on. Love, when you're down and out, love, that's what I learned. I really made an effort. I love.
Justin Trudeau issued an official apology to the members of Black Battalion. What are your thoughts on the apology?
I accept it as a personal apology, and I say apology accept. And so it's my hope that it moves on from there, and the apology has action.
You could have let your tough childhood get the best of you, but instead you retire with honor. And I appreciate everything you and the whole Dixon family have shared with me. The TDC, Disability Channel, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
As Lisa said, we thank